everybody.
This is in the District Court of Elk County, Kansas, case entitled State of Kansas versus Jet T. Hazelwood, case number 2021 CR 20. Jill Gillette appears as Elk County Attorney, Daniel Lamson as Defense Counsel, Jet Hazelwood appearing from the Elk County Sheriff's Office's Zoom location. This matter comes before the court at this time for hearing in regards to a warrant to show cause alleging probation violation, essentially failing to maintain contact with his intensive supervision officer and having his whereabouts unknown. Mr. Lamson, what are your client's intentions regarding this allegation?
Your Honor, I've just been recently appointed on this, and there wasn't, in my view of the e-file system, there wasn't a formal motion that set forth the alleged violations or a statement from the supervising officer. So I was unsure of exactly what was being alleged. I would like to have something formally filed and then an opportunity to either present a defense or admit that we violated. But at this time, I don't really know. I know that they're alleging that he didn't maintain contact or report as directed, and maybe they didn't pay the monies that were ordered. But as far as any more specifics to that, Your Honor, I don't have any information.
Well, the warrant itself only identifies failure to maintain contact with his officer, essentially not disclosing where his whereabouts were at the time. I myself don't have at least a paper copy of a request or a motion. Mr. Clausing, did you file a request in support of your warrant to show cause?
Yes, Your Honor. There was a request for revocation. I have it right here. I think I did. I don't
Does it
think
allege something different than the warrant itself?
No, that's pretty much what it says on the request for revocation, that he just failed to maintain contact with me. He failed to maintain contact basically through March and April of last year.
Okay. I think it's important to at least clarify for the record what your request actually says. Could you read the allegation language in the request? Verbatim, please.
My request?
Yes.
It's failure to report to intensive supervision officer as required. And I just wrote, the defendant has failed to maintain contact with his ISO and his whereabouts are unknown.
Okay. Not much different than the warrant to show cause language.
I apologize, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lamson, I do appreciate you taking this appointment, and I guess the allegation is relatively straightforward. And I'm not inclined to continue this case again. So if you need to confer with your client, I'll give you the opportunity to do that in a breakout session. But do you need that time?
That would be great, Your Honor.
All right.
If you could give me a breakout session, that would be great.
All right.
Your Honor. Thank you.
At this time, then we'll recess briefly for purposes of allowing Mr. Lamson to confer with his client privately in a breakout session. Everyone else, please be patient. We'll rejoin the hearing very soon, hopefully.
Am I back, Judge?
You are.
I think we're ready to proceed.
Just a moment, Mr. Lamson. We're recording and broadcasting again, Mandy?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Just wanted to make sure this was continuous. All right. Resuming proceedings in the Hazelwood matter. Mr. Lamson, you have an announcement?
Yes, Your Honor. After speaking with my client in that breakout room, we're prepared to admit that we did violate probation by not reporting as directed.
Very well. All right, Mr. Hazelwood, you've heard the announcement of your attorney, Mr. Lamson. You do understand, Mr. Hazelwood, that you do have a right to a due process hearing where the state would have the obligation of proving the violation by a preponderance of the evidence. You do have the right to challenge the state's evidence and present your own evidence, confront the state's witnesses unless good cause was shown, And among other lesser remedies, the court could consider just an outright revocation of your probation and have you serve the remaining balance of your sentence locked up. Do you understand these things, Mr. Hazelwood?
I think so. Not really, but yeah.
Okay, well, don't say not really. I mean, either you understand what I'm telling you or you don't.
I understand that I could have to serve my whole sentence.
Okay, that's an important part of it.
Yeah, I know.
And that you're waiving a hearing in the case and you're stipulating or agreeing that you committed the violation rather than contest it. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be honest and trying to work with you guys.
Okay, well, let me stop you there. So are you waiving a hearing in the case and agreeing that you committed the violation of failing to report to your officer?
Yeah, I just don't want to serve all that time in jail.
I'm sure you don't, but I'm just wanting to deal with this violation.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, you are waiving a hearing and agreeing that you committed the violation like your attorney announced, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're on the same page here, Mr. Hazelwood.
I'm just nervous. I'm scared.
Well, and you should be, but the court does find at this time that Mr. Hazelwood has waived his right to a hearing, stipulates and agrees that he committed the violation of failing to maintain contact with his officer and not reporting his whereabouts. Court does find this to be a substantial material violation of the terms and conditions of Mr. Hazelwood's originally ordered probation. We'll now turn to disposition of this warrant to show cause, and we'll start off, and I'm actually going to go to Mr. Clausing, his ISO. Do you have any recommendations that you wish to make in particular here, Mr. Clausing?
Your Honor, when I just wanted this case extended and have him do some type of small sanction, like a 3-day sanction. This is a first show cause. He's dealing with mental health. His mother passed away. He had some other issues. So and he lives in Longton. My plan is he now lives in Independence, so I'm going to transfer him. So I was just thinking a 3-day sanction and putting him back on probation, extending.
All right. When is his current expiration date?
It has already expired on this
Okay.
case.
And obviously this was a timely filed.
Yes, it was.
All right. All right, I understand your position. What is your office's position, Ms. Gillette?
Your Honor, we would be,
Okay, just a moment, Mr. Lamson. I'm asking for the prosecutor first here.
oh, I'm sorry.
Judge, Mr. Hazelwood's mom did die. There was a lot of issues going on with the whole family at that time, including lots of usage. We actually had a search warrant at the Hazelwood home. But he was not there at that time. What I am asking is that there be an extension of his probation, a sanction for him for not reporting as directed, and that he have an added condition that he have a mental health evaluation and that he follow up on all recommendations in his mental health evaluation. The only thing that's going to help Mr. Hazelwood is mental health treatment and drug treatment. So I believe that if he is getting mental health help, that it would go a long ways for him in combating the underlying problem for his usage. So if the court would extend him for a period, I was trying to determine whether I wanted to ask for 9 months or 12 months. I'd like him to do his mental health and sign releases for Mr. Clausing. So I'd like that added as a condition of his probation.
Well, thank you. Mr. Lamson?
We would have no objection to the extension of his probation for 12 months, Your Honor. I think added mental health evaluation or drug and alcohol evaluation would be beneficial to my client. So we would not object to those be added conditions of his probation. We would ask for a 2-day sanction, 48 hours. We would ask that he be allowed to report on the Saturday following Thanksgiving to begin that sanction. He served that and then be reinstated back on probation. And then whether he reports in Independence or he reports in Howard would be up to the supervising officer. But either way, it would be fine with us.
Why Saturday and, well, why not right now, Mr. Lamson? What's
He
your
was just wanting
rationale
to,
from the, go ahead.
he was just wanting to serve Thanksgiving with his family and then go to report to do his sanction. He knew there was going to be time, whether it be his entire time or a small sanction. He was just hoping to do his holidays with his family.
Very well. This time, the court will address the defendant personally, and I'll ask Mr. Hazelwood if he has any statements that he wishes to make in mitigation of punishment here.
What do you mean by that?
Anything you want to say to the court about this?
I'm sorry for not reporting, and when my mother died, it really affected me in a really bad way, and I've been needing help really bad. And to be able to spend time with my family tomorrow it would mean the world to me. And that's I'll come and do however much time you want me to afterwards. It's just I already have plans, and that's all I've wanted to do is just to go be around my family so bad. And it's like after losing my mom, it's so hard on me, and I don't understand it. I'm a completely different person now, and I just, if I could just go be with my family tomorrow, I'll even come Friday. I don't care. I'll come whatever day. I'll come after Thanksgiving dinner. I just would love to spend time with my family and be around them and get to see them. And I never meant to just fall off the way I did. I tried my hardest to not fall off and not just completely lose who I was. And it's just it's been so hard on me. My mom was like my only lifeline to the world. Like she helped me with everything. I've never been completely normal. I've always struggled my whole life, and she was always the one there that would help me, like call me and say, "Hey, you need to report. Did you report today?" And when she was alive, yeah, I was living at her house, but right when she went into the hospital, I had moved out. And I don't know. I'm having a hard time talking because I'm so nervous, and I just really want to spend time with my family tomorrow. I really do. There's no other reason than that.
Jet, do you have a phone?
Yeah, I have a phone now.
Do you know how to use it?
Yeah, not really. No,
You really don't know how to use your phone?
It's not that I don't know how to use it, but I can't make phone calls for some reason. It's so hard to answer anybody's phone call or pick it up and make a phone call. It gives me the worst anxiety ever. Like I don't understand it now. I really don't. I don't know what's wrong with my head. The only thing that's happened is losing my mom, and it's
Well,
like
my point is that that's all you had to do to
I
communicate with the community corrections officer is just make a call and let him know what's going on with you. And I have no doubt that he would have worked with you in a very reasonable way.
I
It is
know
your failure to contact him whatsoever that leads you to be here today. You understand that, don't you?
Yes, I'm almost positive I at least texted him. I mean, I'd always at least text him. Like if I couldn't muster up the courage to make the phone call for whatever reason I can't, I always texted him. Like I always tried to say, hey, I don't think I'm gonna make it up there today, or we're having car problems, or whatever it was at the time. I at least would text him at least every 2 weeks.
I wonder about that. Nevertheless, we are where we are, Mr. Hazelwood.
I know.
You have my condolences over the loss of your mother. It was obviously an event that had a huge impact on you. But let me remind you that as you go through life, there's going to be stressors. There's going to be constant stressors. And you have to deal with them in an appropriate way. And just know not communicating with your community corrections officer when you know that that's a requirement to keep you out of jail is a
Right.
big problem.
I know, and it wasn't like it was just him that I wasn't communicating with. It was everybody. It was the whole world. I still can't like look at any pictures of my mom. I can't get on Facebook and scroll through anything because I'll end up seeing a picture of my mom, or it's so hard on me. She was my everything.
Right. I seem to have lost Mr. Klossing from the meeting. Which is regrettable, but I'm going to go forward here, Mr. Hazelwood. I just want to make sure that if you are reinstated on probation, Mr. Hazelwood, that you're going to be making a bona fide effort to comply with conditions, including communication with your supervising officer.
I will for sure. I mean, I've came to every court date, haven't I? And I've contacted him every time I've needed to.
Well, except for the
Besides
times
that,
that you didn't and led you to be
But-
here today.
but since I got out of jail when I got arrested for that, I've kept in contact. I've been doing what I needed to. I've been trying to get over to Ford County. I've just been having a hard time. My girlfriend works all the time,
Okay,
and she's my only ride. And I mean,
all right. There needs to be a sanction for your non-compliance here, Jet.
Yeah.
Regardless of any other problems that are going on, you still need to consider this a priority. And when you don't, there's going to be a sanction imposed. I
right.
think I'm going to follow Mr. Lampson's suggestion here, and the court's going to impose a 2-day dip.
Thank you.
But I want you to be at the Elk County Jail at 9:00 a.m. on Saturday, November the 30th, to do that sanction time.
Thank you so much.
I, like you, want you to have the support of your family and to be able to celebrate Thanksgiving with them.
Thank you so much.
I hope I don't regret that decision.
You won't.
I would regret it if you don't show up when you're supposed to.
No, I'll be here.
9:00 a.m., Saturday, November 30th, for a 48-hour consecutive period. Be released 48 hours after your reporting. And then you're reinstated on community corrections. All unsatisfied conditions remain. I will extend you through the date of July 31 of 2025.
Okay.
Court will further order as an additional condition of probation and condition of reinstatement that you obtain a mental health evaluation from an approved provider, and I'm glad I have Mr. Klossing back. I'm going to ask Mr. Klossing to make recommendations, not today, but the next time he sees you, regarding mental health provider for evaluation and further treatment.
Okay.
Okay. He is in touch with, I think, resources that may be available to you, and I know he'll make sound recommendations to you about what you need to do to meet this mental health evaluation requirement. At absolute limit, I want the evaluation to be done within 45 days from today's date.
Okay.
And if it can be scheduled much sooner, that's what the court would envision. Mr. Hazelwood, I think you've recognized that you've got some issues you need to work through.
Yeah.
I can see the same thing. You need to get some professional assistance to guide you through this difficult time.
For sure.
And I don't want to have to see you again on a probation review.
You won't.
You need to successfully complete this in all material respects.
Judge,
Mr. Hazelwood, are you working?
Yeah, I've been working at this place called Bearded Construction in Independence. You just do home remodels.
Okay. And so how much money do you make doing that?
Not a lot.
Okay, what is not a lot? Come on.
Maybe $500 a week. I've been trying to look for something different. My mental health, it stops me from so much. I don't get to live life at all hardly because of it.
All right. The court is going to assess a $100 bids application fee here and an additional $100 in legal fees for an additional $200 to be added to his account that he owes. I'm going to waive any remainder. I have no doubt that the aggregate of legal services will be far beyond that, but I'm going to waive anything over this $200 amount that I've imposed here today.
Thank you. Where can I find that? Like, how do I pay on it exactly?
You haven't paid on your case at all?
I don't know. I was trying to look into it earlier.
Okay, well, contact the clerk of the district court of Elk County, Kansas, and they'll give you direction regarding forms of payment and manner of payment, okay?
Okay.
Clerk of the district court, not the clerk of the county, the clerk of the district court,
Of the district court.
because we're dealing with the court.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
Judge, can we have an order that he sign all releases for his mental health as directed by Mr. Clausing?
so ordered by the court.
What does that mean?
Your officer will explain it to you.
Okay.
He needs to be able to get information regarding your care. You
Right.
need to sign releases to assist him in doing that,
Okay.
okay?
Okay. Yeah.
He just needs to know what's going on with you.
Right.
All right. Mr. Lamson, is there anything else from your perspective that we need to address here?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Ms. Gillette, anything further at this time?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Mr. Clausing, do you need anything else from the court? Okay, I see his head shaking no. Mr. Hazelwood, do you have any questions about the court's orders?
No, okay.
When do you have to report to the Elk County Jail, Mr. Hazelwood?
At 9 o'clock on Saturday.
All right, that is the correct answer. You might even want to write that down and remind yourself, okay?
Let's have something to.
And Mr. Hazelwood,
Yeah.
two things.
Yeah.
I really do hope that you're successful on this stage of your probation, whether it's supervised by the local office or some office that it's transferred to. I hope you're successful. Second thing is, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with your family.
You too.
You've received a break, and I hope that you take advantage of this opportunity that you've been given.
Thank you so much.
All right. If there's nothing further then, this time the Jet Hazelwood matter will be in recess, and this meeting may be ended for all.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.